What I want to do is basically I'm going to go over the camper guide, the parent guide with you, and talk a little bit about the intricacies of sending a kid off to camp, especially here at French Woods. And you should be you're sending your kids to a really, really special place. It really is an incredible place. There's a vibe here that you don't feel anywhere. You get out of the car and you feel like you're at home. I don't care if you're first time, 10th time, I'm here for the 39th time. So there's always that great feeling, getting out of the car, stepping down on the ground, and no matter what anxiety you have, it kind of melts away. And you see the kind of people that are here. And the kids are just like that. The kids are sweet, they're kind to each other, they're supportive. It's a very special community. Rose started to talk to you about the online forms. Those are important in that for the profiles, it's good for us to know the things that you want the kids to have. A lot of parents say, just let them do what they want. Some kids are very mature and they know what they want. Other kids need to be more directed. The staff knows if a kid comes with an instrument packed up in his luggage or carrying an instrument, we know that we're going to give them lessons. And it's very interesting how we do things. We try to make it so that it's fun, that we're not making them do anything, that it's their idea, even if it's your idea. So we try to make it so the kids enjoy what they're doing. And the interesting thing also is that when you start playing music here and you're playing with other people and you hear music, it doesn't become tedious like a music lesson. Once you hear the music, it's like that little girl in the video said, I never played, I never touched the keyboard, and they taught me to play 2 songs. I know my granddaughter did that. She never touched the keyboard, and she was rocking and rolling at the end of the 3 weeks and went on to take piano lessons and violin lessons because the way it was done made it fun and made the kids feel that they accomplished so much. So fill out those forms. The medical form, of course, is important. Because we need to know as much as we can about the child so that we can take care of them better. As far as food allergies and things like that, we have like kind of a skeletal crew today, so we have maybe a dozen people working in the kitchen. Some of the staff helped out, but normally we have 45 people that run and work in that area. So we'll make separate meals for kids who need it, kids who are gluten-free, kids who have any kind of issues. Everything's labeled, and if you don't see what you want, we try to get it. So the head counselors work with everybody, work with you, work with the kids, all the people that are in charge of something, whether it's the kitchen or an activity. Their goal is to make sure the kids get a great experience and get what they need. So you'll let us know via all those forms. And if you have to call, if there's any questions, please call. That's what we're here for. There's no question that we won't answer. There's no such thing as a silly question. You're not bothering us. And again, if you ever need to get in touch with me, whatever the issue is, they'll get me right to the phone. So my job here at camp is I really look after the kids, the staff, and the parents. And the parents, believe it or not, get much more kid sick than the kids get homesick. I know Rose isn't here. When her son went to camp for the first time, he was like 7. She went into his room, hugged his pillow, and cried. So, now she's an old timer, but she let go, and letting go is hard. There's a great book that you should get. It's called Homesick and Happy. You get it on Amazon for like $10, and you can be homesick and you could still be happy. And when we get through some of the nuts and bolts, we'll talk about that stuff. I want to talk about transportation, but I want Darren to be here. So we do provide transportation to and from camp. We have about 600 kids that fly in during the summer, and we pick them up at the airport. If you look online and in your packet, you'll see where we have pickups in New Jersey, Philadelphia, Manhattan, Queens, Westchester, and Massachusetts. And for you guys, you know, before you came here, your plan was to bring the kid to camp. Now you don't have to do that because you're here, and you'll make a different decision. So if you want to use our transportation, just let Darren know, and he'll put you down and he'll make sure you're on our list so that we make sure. There's Darren. So he'll make sure that the kids are taken care of. And, you know, we send about 50 staff members out on pickup day to pick up the kids. So I'm going to let Darren talk a little bit about transportation and travel and all those things. Darren's assistant director in charge of working with Michael on taking care of the facility. He helps Beth hire the staff. Beth does pretty much all the hiring. She lets Ron go to England because he likes to go and hire some staff there. And then Darren helps Beth with the hiring as well as helping with taking care of the facility. He runs all the crews. You see, you'll see on the tour, there's a lot going on. A lot of fixing, constructing, cleaning, painting, building every year. We don't rest on our laurels. Something's going on. And Darren really oversees the crew, and he's going to talk to you about transportation, which is taking care of that precious commodity, your children. Darren? Yeah, you're going to take a mic because it's being recorded. Let's go right through the mic.
Testing. Can you all hear me? Okay. I don't really like mics, but because I move around a lot. So before your children can begin their absolute magical experience at French Woods, we've got to get them to French Woods, right? So we offer a variety of methods of coming to camp. We do airport pickups, we do bus pickups, we do bus drop-offs, airport drop-offs, and you're welcome to drive up to camp as well. So we do all the bus pickups are at 12 o'clock, all of them. And then when you pick them up at the locations as well, pickups at 11:30. We do ask that you please don't pack like 6 big giant duffel bags. I'm getting a little old to pick them up. I'm kidding. If you have any questions about transportation, anything at all, I'm going to be hanging around outside the theater after the meeting. Just come up, ask me a question, anything you might need. As you can see, I'm very busy. But yeah, any questions at all, just email me or travel at French Woods or Darren at French Woods. I'll be glad to call you, discuss any concerns you might have, discuss the options, and if you have any personal requests, or if you have auditions, or if you have any appointments, or anything else, or anything that you might think, does camp is able to help me with that? We can. And I'll be able to help you out and arrange specific transportation for you as well, for auditions, for doctor's appointments, anything you might need, or anything your camper might need while at camp, I can definitely arrange it for you. Anything I left out? All good?
He'll be around, so if you have any specific questions if you have any questions about your child's needs or your needs, he'll be here with that. And, you know, he does coordinate. We'll have kids who need doctor's appointments or what have you. Darren coordinates that. We have people that'll go with the kids. Anyway, if you don't use our transportation and you decide to come up here, I just want you to know what to expect. Similar to today, there'll be people in the parking lot to help you park. You'll leave your luggage in the car, and you'll go into the office. And when you go into the office, now we've got a new wrinkle this year with the measles, so we'll discuss a little bit of that. We do check every child's head for lice. We have a company that comes in here. Since we've had them, we've had little problems with lice, and they're here kind of 3 times a session to check, recheck, and recheck again. When somebody does come in with lice, you're going to get a form. You probably had it already. You sign it. We're going to charge you $375 to take care of the kids. A great idea is to just have them checked before you come up here. In America, it's like a big deal. You go to Europe, it's like no big deal at all. Lice can't hurt anybody. It's just a horrible nuisance, and it really is. And it's hard to get rid of once you get it. My daughter's still angry at me because she came home one year with lice, and I just couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. And she had hair down to her waist, so I cut it. So now she's 40-something or other, and she still reminds me how mad she is cutting her long, beautiful hair. But, you know, since we've had this company, they've been great, and they've kind of stopped any kind of spread. But it'll happen. You're flying a plane, all you need is one little louse to lay an egg, and you could have a problem. On the butt, who knows? It happens, and it's not the worst thing, and we'll take care of it. You know, we've had, I remember 2 kids came from the same school the Queen sends her kids to in England, and they had lice, you know. So it's not a dirty kind of thing. In fact, they love clean hair. I tell the kids to keep the hair greasy, and it's better because they don't like going. In fact, that's one of the ways to treat it, is to use a lot of conditioner and a lot of grease in the hair. It stops the lice from causing any damage. So we'll do the lice check, and we're going to do a interview kind of temperature check, and we're also waiting for the health department. We might even send people out on the buses, nurses or people that can take temperatures. We want to protect the kids from any of a measles outbreak. Chances of that happening are very slim. There are maybe 500 cases in New York State, and they're all in Brooklyn. So, you know, it's not something that should happen or is going to happen, but we're going to take whatever precautions are necessary to make sure. You know, he sent out a letter about getting inoculated. If there are reasons for not getting inoculated, and because of that, because of those reasons, if a child comes and we know that they don't have shots, we'll have to watch them because they're much more in danger of getting sick than a child who has been immunized. So be aware of that. So that's going to be a process. So when you come up, we're going to park your car. We're going to check for lice. We're going to check for temperature. Any forms you have to hand in, we'll give kids a little bracelet that clears them that they've been checked. Somebody will help you with the luggage down to the cabin. They'll drive it down for you. A head counselor will come and meet your children and go down to the cabin also. You're welcome to go down there and help them unpack or what have you. You're welcome to take a walk around. But the toughest thing about whether it's at the bus or whether you come to camp for the child and probably for you too is saying goodbye. And the sooner you let them get involved with the counselors and the other kids, easier it is for them to let go and easier for you to let go. That's why we say that the camp starts on the bus, and Darren is very good. You know, he recognizes, he'll identify kids who need a little extra attention. He'll have the counselors take them and sit them with another child or sit with them. So, and if you feel that your child needs that, just tell whoever's in charge there, and they'll help out. But most kids are excited about going, but they have a little anxiety. There's nothing wrong with that. It's normal, and I'm sure you do too. That's why we have you up here, hoping that by meeting us, it'll relieve some of the anxiety. But the best thing to do is send them on the bus. No long goodbyes, because it's hard for the kids and it's hard for you. Now, we're a special place because we have visiting days constantly, you know, at the end of every session. And, you know, as a segue into what I'm talking about, you kind of get an understanding of the busyness of coming that first day. The buses come in about 3:30. So the bulk of the kids come by bus. 80% come by bus, 20% come by car with their parents. So you want to get there. You got to give us a chance to be ready for you. So kind of after 10 would work, but before 3. Because if you come after 3, you got buses from Philly, from New York, from Westchester, from all over the place. From the airport, you know, we have buses that pick up the kids at the airport. We have a pickup at the airport for parents that live in the Jersey area. So it's going to be very busy with all that's coming in. So you want to get there before that craziness, because we want to get all those kids. I want to get them through, back with their counselors, with their head counselors, and back in the bunks. I want to get them started with camp as quickly as possible. So you have that window from 10 to 3. You're welcome if you come up. We eat lunch around 1:15. You're welcome to have lunch with us if you come up around that time. So, we won't send you away without feeding you. So please, you're welcome to join us. We try to feed the staff that's helping you too. So sometimes there might be a little lull in the getting the kids in. So, we ask you to come join us. Luggage. If you're sending your kids by bus, you can put the luggage on the bus. We usually have a truck there for anything that doesn't fit under the bus, so we'll take the luggage with us. Darren asked not to pack. We usually say no more than 2 duffel bags. We want you to bring soft luggage. You could even bring soft luggage with wheels, but it should be soft because we store it, and those trunks are big to store. Other camps where the kids would go for the whole summer, they take the trunks and they ship them out and then they bring them back. We're moving kids every 3 weeks, so we store the luggage, so we ask for soft luggage. If you want to ship anything up, that's fine too. You could use UPS, you could use FedEx. We have a company we used to use a company called Camp Shippers, and I love them. They were exclusive for us, and they retired. So they sent their business to something called Camp Truckers, which I know very little about. So if you use them, you'll be our guinea pigs, because I don't know. Hopefully they'll be as good as Camp Shippers. They pick up the luggage, and they charge you a little more than if you were going to do UPS or FedEx, and then they'll deliver it back to you. I think they need a little bit of a longer window than FedEx and UPS. And just make sure that when you send it, when the kids are coming, just make sure it'll get there before them. But even the kids who are flying, the parents are welcome to put the luggage on the plane. We take it off the plane, put it on our trucks, get it to camp, and drive it back to the airport when the kids leave. So we'll do all that if that's what you want. Some parents are find it easier to just ship it. And of course, if you bring it and you bring in your car, we'll take it and bring it down to the cabin. And you guys can help the kids set up. That's not a problem. So that's about luggage and about transportation. And I was getting into visiting because we talked about visiting is a great time, but again, saying goodbye at visiting is also the same thing as saying goodbye at the beginning of the session, especially if a kid stays for more than one session. At the end of every session, we have 2 days of visiting. The first day you come up right after lunch, it's about 1:30, and then the second day you come up between 9:30 and 10, because we start activities that you're going to come see just around 10 o'clock. And it's full days. We have a circus performance, we have dance, we have all sorts of musical groups will be performing. We have 20 Broadway-type shows performing. We've got a horse show. We've got a water ski exhibition. We got a basketball exhibition. We've got an art opening. We've got film festivals. We've got 3 different circus shows. One's for the little ones, one for the bigger ones, and a special one that we call Firefly that happens at 10:30 on the first visiting night and ends about 11:30. So it's a long day, and it's exciting and a lot of fun. The first day, you're welcome to have dinner with us, and we do a revolving dinner, so dinner is served between 5 and 7. And the second day, you can join us for lunch and for dinner as well. So, it's an active day. You're busy. Things we don't allow. We do not want anybody bringing food in. There's so much food here, you don't have to bring anything in. We don't want food sent to the kids. We had a terrible incident years ago when parents brought food in and it was contaminated, and we had 100 kids sick. So we stopped. We used to let parents picnic, and we used to allow that, and it's just not worth it. We cook plenty of food, and we're eating lunch and dinner. We have pizza at night at the canteen. We have ice cream, milkshakes at night at the canteen. So there's plenty of ways of getting food here. And we have a camp store that has fruit and juice that you could always grab. And of course, there's usually healthy kind of choices like power bars and breakfast snacks and things like that. So there's plenty of food here, and I think you'll find that it's really good. I mean, the salads you saw today is just the tip of what he prepares for the kids every day. You know, and of course, we always get 2 hot mains. There are many more choices in the alternate food area. And of course, any of the kids who need any kind of special treatment, he hires special people that do that so the food's not contaminated. We try to accommodate the kids as best as we can. I don't think any camp has the kind of food services and offers the kind of food that we do. When you come here on an ordinary day, a regular program day, it is the most peaceful, quiet place you can imagine, because the kids are busy in their activities. And you know, if I tell somebody there's 700 kids here, they go, "Why are you lying to me?" I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "There's nobody here." And then you walk around, you know, there's kids in cooking and kids in fitness and kids playing 5 different sports and kids in 5 dance classes and 15 rock and roll studios and 5 theaters and 10 rehearsal studios. You get the picture. There's small groups, but they're all over and they're all getting a lot of attention. And when you walk here, it's peaceful and quiet and neat and clean. The cabins, you could eat off the floor. The kids and the staff take care of them. And then we have visiting weekend. And 2,500 people descend down to the camp with, you know, and it's an interesting place because a lot of camps just want the parents there. We want grandparents, bring anybody you want, and we'll take care of them. And it's a great day. You get all these meals, you get to see shows. The weather's beautiful. We let you, you know, swim in the swimming pool. So we get a lot of people here, and with that comes a lot of garbage and a mess. And then also on changeover day and visiting day and all that, you got kids that are leaving, so that they know how to pack like one thing at a time, and then they run to their activity, so it gets a little messy. And a lot of parents think that that's what the camp looks like. It still looks fine, and it's still wonderful to see what the kids have accomplished. That's worth everything, to see their accomplishments and to see what they do, whether it's a horse show, whether it's the artwork they've done, or the movie they've made, or the shows that they're in, or the dance. I mean, just incredible, you know? And they still get to play sports, and they still get to climb on the climbing tower and go swimming. We have a beautiful pool, a lake. We have the Delaware River in our backyard, and we shoot the rapids. So they get the best of all camping worlds. So coming here, know what to expect, and know that it's different than your typical day where it's neat and clean and quiet and the kids are learning and and they're enjoying the visiting also. But it is stuff going on with so many people around that you're going to have a little bit of a mess. Dining room is open for 2 hours. When we eat a meal, it takes 20 minutes. So, you know, and people leave their plates, and, you know, the kids know to throw their plates away and to clean up. You know, some of us, we just leave it. Someone has to come clean up, and we're trying to clean up and keep it looking good for you guys. And we're feeding 3,000 people on a visiting day. And we do it happily. I just want you to know what to expect and not to think that the poor kids are living in that craziness all week long, all session long. It's 2 days of great activity, a lot of fun, but it is busy. So be aware. So I just wanted you all to kind of understand visiting day at French Woods. Inside your packet and online, you have a packing list of things to bring. We kind of want you to bring like 8 days worth of stuff. We do the laundry every week. The kids put it in whites and dark clothes, and we pick it up in the morning and return it in the evening. It's good to have your names in it. If you get a marker, you could mark it down in the anywhere you can, actually. Or they have labels that you could sew in. I still find clothing from 50 years ago that has my name in it, which is crazy. I'm sure my mother's house still has some stuff, but it's good to put the name in it. Even if you don't, the bunk stuff is kept together, and the kids are, it's easier to give out if the name's in it, but who belongs to this, the counselor will do, and they'll still figure out their stuff, and they'll still be able to get their laundry. A good idea is also to buy these mesh bags. You can put your socks in, and you tie them up, so, when they're washed, the bag gets washed, and you don't lose socks. I don't know what happens to the socks, but there's got to be some sort of creature that lives on Earth that just eats the socks because, kids are incredible, and they always find ways of losing stuff. I bought my son 3 pairs of leather sneakers when he was ready to really wear leather sneakers and play ball, and he lost the left sneaker of every shoe, And the kids and the counselors, I'll go down to the pool of the lake, and it's time to leave, and I'll take a look, and they've left shoes and clothing. I don't know how they got there. They must have worn the shoes to get there. So we have a great lost and found method. We try to send you everything that they lose, and we try to return it as soon as we find it if they haven't left camp yet. So check out the suggested packing list. Understand our, we're going to do the laundry. Don't send anything of value. Should be a very simple shorts, T-shirts, polos. We're not a fancy dress camp. We're not a uniform camp. We ask you to buy 2 T-shirts. You can buy them now at the camp store. We're going to open the camp store after the tour, so you want to check out. They have clothing there, sweat stuff. If you want to buy anything. But we'll give the kids, you can order it online, or when they get up here, we'll give them shirts. And why do we want the shirts? We're not a big travel camp because the kids are busy creating whatever they're creating throughout the summer. But we'll take the kids, we're going to a Broadway show in first, second, and third session. We'll take the kids to a local movie. So anytime, or they go out for intercamps where they play other camps. We also have kids that'll go out and entertain. We'll have groups, rock bands that might go to another camp to play for them. Or we have cabaret and improv troops that go to hotels or local community events where they'll perform. And we all want them to wear a French Woods T-shirt. So we ask you to buy 2 French Woods T-shirts, and that's it. If you've known camping, most camps want you to buy $2,000 worth of clothing. You have to pay, $1,000 a week for horseback riding. If you want to take lessons, like we offer music lessons, voice lessons, it's all included in your tuition. So, we kind of try not to inundate you with buying all these things. But if you've gone to any other traditional camps, you know that the cost of tuition is one thing, and then all the extras, the trips they do, whatever it is, it can wind up costing a great deal. And even our canteen is included. Kids say it's free. I don't think it's really free, just included. So, they'll get canteen at night. Most camps will charge you. You have like an expense account. We have something called PED, which is a personal expense deposit for any kind of emergency money, or if they want to get something in the camp store, they need toothbrushes or toothpaste, or if they want to buy a shirt, whatever it is, we keep an account, and there's no money exchanged for the kids. It's just an account because you've left $175. At the end of the summer, for most of you, you can request the money back, or you could just let it ride for the following year. But it's emergency money. Who knows what they need? They might need leggings. They might need a tennis racket. We'll get permission from you. We'll go out and get it. So it's emergency money on account for the kids. So there's something that we call carryover shows. And I want to be really clear about this because some parents aren't happy about carryover shows. We do a lot of shows in the 3-week period. For kids that stay 6 weeks, we do a show that starts to perform in the middle of the week after the visiting. It's the first week of the next session. So, and sometimes those shows might be a little more sophisticated, or we just can't fit all the shows into the 3 weeks. So those kids get that opportunity. So for those parents, there's 3 performances at the end of that week, and we welcome them to come up and see the performances. They can come up and have dinner with us and catch a show. So here you are, you visited a few days ago, and now you're coming back 6 days later to see another show. So for some parents, it's not the easiest thing, but it's an incredible opportunity for the kids. It gives them more opportunity to perform. And for those kids, they're staying that other session. First day of that session, they're auditioning again for a show that's going to perform at the end of the session, and they're still kind of rehearsing for that show that's performing in a few days. So they're working hard. They're doing, for a couple of days, they're rehearsing 2 shows. And it's just so incredible how the kids handle it, how well they do. But we want to give them every opportunity we can. So your kid could be in a carryover show, but in a circus, in magic, made a movie, and that all is being shown to you on visiting weekend, and now the next week he's doing another show. We have concerts that go on. We have something called Side by Side, which is during 4th session, where we have the New York Pops comes up, works with the kids for 3 days, and then performs with them, the 75-piece orchestra, and then we have 2 Broadway stars that sing with 2 of our kids. Then we have a chorus that works with them. It's an incredible performance. Last summer, over 100 musicians on stage. And you could look at, you can Google all of that. You might find some of it. I don't know if it's always, what's that?
And the session 1, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, session 1 this year, we have the Pittsburgh Pops coming to the,
Pittsburgh Symphony conductor.
okay, Pittsburgh Symphony and their conductor are going to work with our kids in the first session. Work with the kids in the first session. I'm entertaining her. That's so we've got all that happening. Spending money. You've got $175 on account, but some kids will take an extra $20 a session just to have. Now, we have a safe, and we want everything that's money especially put away in the safe. Kids need to put that away or else it goes missing. But kids do bring some extra spending money, so they have extra money when they go to the theater, they want to buy a souvenir or what have you. So that's something to be aware of also. But try not to give them too much money, which is important because they'll lose it. We have 9 nurses pretty much every session and a doctor, and we have a doctor and a PA the first session, a doctor and a resident the second session. I think we have a PA the third session, and maybe a nurse practitioner with the doctor the 4th session. But our medical staff is like a hospital. I mean, it really is staffed well, and they really do a great job taking care of the kids. If you have any special...
Every one of our doctors this summer is a pediatrician.
Which is great also, because I hate when they send us psychiatrists and stuff like that. But every doctor's a pediatrician, which is great. 2 of the doctors I know are emergency room pediatricians. So I think we're always covered. But, knock on wood, it's a camp where they're singing and dancing. It's a very, very protected place. Circus, if you're on the flying trapeze, to get up the ladder, you're in a harness. When you get up there, there's 2 staff members. You're put in a harness. There's a special kind of net that's there. You have to work hard to get hurt, because you're never flying without being in a harness. And there's somebody pulling the ropes so that when you land softly into we have this special kind of air-blown finger-looking kind of thing, which is incredible. You can't get hurt. Even on the net, you can get like rope burns. You can't get hurt jumping off of that. But the kids never jump off of it. They're always harnessed. Everything they do is double and triple protected. So the safety is a big issue here. The equipment, things like that are very, very important to us. And we really try very hard to keep the kids safe at all the activities. But if, God forbid, something happens, you know, we've got an incredible medical staff. I mentioned we have a clinic that's about 7 miles away. It takes us less than 10 minutes to get there. We have a hospital that's maybe 15 miles away. It takes us about 20 minutes to get there. And we have an ambulance service that'll be here in 10 minutes. And, you know, these are things that we know are there. God forbid we need them, we have them. And if anything should happen, if a child should get hurt, get a cold, need antibiotics, have fever, have to spend the night at the infirmary, you will get a call. You know, nurse will call you, I'll call you, one of us will call you, let you know what's going on. We're not going to give your kid any medicine without telling you. We're not going to take the kid to the hospital without telling you. The only time I'll send the kid for an x-ray or something is if I can't get in touch with you, and I'll have to make a decision that I just want to have an x-ray. In our contract, you know, we can act as in loco parentis, but I will never do it without getting in touch with you or one of your emergency numbers. We have EpiPens, you know, we have training session, 2 training sessions for the staff on EpiPens, but the good thing is that a nurse or a doctor could be anywhere in camp in a minute. So, you know, though we train everybody, I really want the doctor and the nurse to take care of them. But, you know, every precaution that has to be taken is taken. We're nut-free, so, you know, if you have any kind of nut allergies, we don't serve nuts. So, you know, the whole staple when you went to camp was peanut butter and jelly. Now it's called pea butter and jelly. Somehow it's made out of peas instead of, and it tastes just like peanut butter, just a little drier. If you use it with the jelly, you can't tell the difference. So, not bad at all. You guys are great because I'm covering a lot of stuff all at once. I want to spend a little time talking about the meds that kids take. If they take meds, we work with a company called Camp Meds. And what you do is you send them your prescription. They will package it in single doses. So the nurse just really basically, it's a tear off, and she knows what she's giving the kid is exactly what's supposed to happen because the prescription's written on the tear-off, it's written on the box, it's written in the doctor's orders, it's written in their med book that they have to sign that they gave the kid the medication. So the health department has told us that's what they want, so we try our best. It's not a perfect world. I'm sure there's some cases that we can't just do it that way, but we try our best. So you would, if you can go through Camp Meds, I think they charge $40 or something, 40 or $50 to do the packaging. Same thing with vitamins, homeopathic medicine. Our nurses can't just give a kid vitamins because a parent says, you got to give my kid vitamins. We have to have doctor's orders, and homeopathic is a real no-no. It has to come with doctor's orders, not parents' orders. So if you have anything like that, just have the doctor send us a prescription or an order to do that, to give them those meds. And we'll be happy to do it. But the nurses are not licensed. They cannot give any kind of meds without a doctor's permission. Over-the-counter meds, there's a form that you fill out. When you go to the doctor, have them sign it. It's for even that, we try to get the doctor to sign. But ultimately, if you give us permission, we will call you, you know, if we don't have that form signed. And it's difficult for us to give a child certain medication, whether it's aspirin or Tylenol, you know, there's certain medicines that maybe the doctor or you don't want the child to give. So there's a form for over-the-counter meds that you fill out, and if there's something you don't want us to give the child, you mark it down. And if you want to be doubly sure, just give us a call. But it's in that medical, when you go to the doctor, have him sign it. So he, you know, he says we can give him all those medicines. But if it's not signed, we will call you and say, hey, can we give him a Tylenol? Can we give him, you know, Benadryl or what have you? But you'll see a whole list of meds. So that's important because that kind of stops the nurses in their tracks when they're dealing with sometimes very simple things. For all you first-timers, we have a special program for first-time campers. We have 2 people, we call them first-time camper advocates. that are going to work closely with the kids. So they have their head counselor, they have their counselors, they have the first-time camper advocate that's going to look in on them, and they're going to have a little team of first-time advocate counselors that are going to look in on them to make sure they've figured out how this place works. Because it's a big place, it's not easy. When I first heard about majors and minors, because I came from a traditional camp background, I couldn't figure it out until I saw it in action. So it's not easy, and we have people, even the first day when Beth was talking about the kids going out and trying different things, all first-time campers will have somebody taking them by the hand to help them through, find their way around. When you take the tour, you'll see, the camp is very, very big. It's got a lot going on, and we try to really stay on top of those kids. After the first week, they're perfect. After the first few days, they're fine. But we make it our business to really give them an extra layer of support. So we have a lot of people involved in our first-time camper program. So be aware that we'll be on it. I want to talk to you a little bit about homesickness. Homesickness is, there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody gets homesick at some time or another. What your job is, first of all, the kids are not being sent here as punishment. They're not being sent here because you're making them go. They participated in the decision to come. So they have to take some responsibility. And your job is to just be positive. And when they feel, I'm going to miss you, which is great, I'm going to miss you too, but you're going to have such a great time, and I can't wait to go up there and see the things you're going to accomplish. Always be positive. The worst thing to do when a kid goes away to school when they're older or goes to camp when they're younger, going to camp is good practice before they go away to school, is say, if you don't like it, I'll pick you up. If you're unhappy, I'll pick you up. Don't ever do that, because this is what happens. Life isn't perfect, although Frenchwoods is close. They're gonna have a moment, and they're gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna call my parents. I'm going home. And they're gonna call you and you're gonna say, well, what's going on with your show? What's going on? Everything's great, but you know what? I'm not so happy today. Can you take me home? You told me you'd take me home. And you go, but you're having a nice time. Go, yeah, but you said I was unhappy. I can go home, so take me home. And it has nothing to do with being unhappy. It's a power struggle now. And I've seen this. I'm doing this almost 40 years, and I've seen the power struggle. And you don't know what to say, because your word is so important to them that when you say something like that, they expect you to honor your word. You're not happy. I'm not happy. Take me home. And they should be here. And nothing bad's happening to them. You can't put yourself in that position, because when you do that, it's very hard for both of us. Because you're going to become, if you leave them here, they're going to be mad. And even though they have a great time, they're going to want to come back. It's a tough thing. So don't fall into that trap. Yeah, I think that, it's such a privilege to come here. You're supplying them with something so special. Be positive. Whatever they think is going to be bad, you say we're going to work out. You have, especially the kids that are here now, they see the people, they see who's here. Same people will be here when they come back. So they have a leg up. But, even, trying a night out with their cousins, sleep over with their friends to see how it goes. And again, if it doesn't go great, make it positive. It'll be better next time. We all know our kids. That's why if you have a kid that's a little bit anxious, that long goodbye is difficult. And I'm telling you, I've had kids, our most homesick kids become our best campers, because our staff is well trained. They love the kids. They treat them so nicely. They keep them busy, and they know it's okay. I've had kids come back homesick year in and year out. It blows my mind. I've had a kid that came for 5 years. She used to hack her mother's email and send me emails as if she was her mother. And I would call her mother, and her mother would go, I didn't write you anything. And then she realized what happened, and she says, you tell my daughter that the next time I'm going to talk to her is visiting weekend. So the kid got the message. Then, like, in the 5th year, she comes to me, and this is Kate Meany. She comes to me with this 5-page pamphlet, what Isaac should do to take care of my homesickness. And she wrote it all up for me. It was very sweet. She was here till she was 17, and now she's probably, she's been gone for a few years now, so she's graduated here. She must be about 19, 20 years old. But she came here from the time she was like 7, 8 years old, and she was a hoot. But she knew that she was coming back, and she was going to be fine, but she was going to be homesick. Then you have kids who are fine, and all of a sudden they're homesick. They've been there 3 years, and they become homesick all of a sudden. And I can't figure out why. And then when you talk to the kids are very interesting individuals, the way their mind works, the way they think. Finally, he's so homesick, so upset, he's crying, he's talking to me, he tells me how he was crossing the street, and it was a red light, and a car kind of rolled and touched him, just hit him. Nothing happened, he was fine, but from that point on, all he thought about was that his mother was going to get hit by a car, and he wouldn't be there to help her. And kids, they think, listen, they don't want to be without their parents, something's going to happen to her. And I had to have him call his mother to explain to him that he was fine, that everything was fine, she was fine. And it took a little work, and he was fine. But he came to camp for 3 years before this, and then 3 years after that. So it's the way the kid's head works, we're going to work with them and make sure everything's good. If you know of anything that's going on in the house with your kid that you think will help us, let us know. If there's any kind of situation that goes on when they're gone and you need our help, let us know. We want to be there to make sure the child has an incredible experience and doesn't let anything bother him. So if there's something that you know about that you want to tell us, please do so. Again, there's that book, Homesick and Happy, is a great book to get because our most homesick campers stay the longest. I've had kids where I never thought they were going to come back, but they made it to the end, which is very important to us. I train the staff and I speak to the staff, and I learned this from Ron, who trained me, that not to get through, and I hate using that word because getting through here is a gift. It's wonderful, what's to get through. But not to get through is a failure. And it stays with them, believe it or not. It really does stay with them for a long time. Our goal is never, ever, ever to lose a camper to homesickness or to, worse, kid sickness, which happens too. Parents make it, you can't call your kid and say, I hope you're having a good time, but me and your brother just went on a great vacation. We climbed the Himalayas, we went to Europe, and I'm sure you're having fun at camp. My daughter-in-law does that to my grandchildren. I don't know, I try to explain it to her, but I'm happy they come and they get it. But can you imagine, you weren't with us, and we went to the lake house, and we were, you want to focus on the child and their successes and their happiness. So getting through the kid sickness is sometimes more difficult. And it's very funny, the kids are very attuned to me. If I see a kid on the phone with a parent and they start to cry, my radar goes up, and the kids look at me and go, Isaac, it's okay, I just miss my mother, I'm not going home. So our goal is never, ever to lose a child, ever. We want them to have that complete experience. And any kid who's homesick or has difficulties and they finish this, they always come back. Very rarely do they not come back. And here's the thing that nobody knows. When a kid goes home, it's a failure on one end. And I never could understand in camping, so let them go home. We'll go to the next kid, right? That's what the staff sometimes says to me. And you keep the money anyway. It's not about the money. We're successful because we really go out of our way to take care of every kid one at a time. And we want every kid, if we didn't feel that way, we wouldn't be successful. If it was only about the money, this wouldn't, this wouldn't be the camp that it is. It's a very, very special place because they all know, the staff that works with us, all of us know how important each kid is. And we do our utmost to give every kid an incredible ride. I don't know, what did I leave out? I've covered so many topics. You guys have some questions from where we are? Yes. They're usually a minor because they won't get them every day, but there are groups that they can work in that meet every day, whether it's a major or minor. So they could be in we have all different types of choral groups that they can perform in and be taught lessons, or they can take private music lessons. Usually it's once a week, sometimes twice a week. Same thing with all the instrumental lessons. There are guitar classes, there are kids that are in beginning groups, whether it's symphony or jazz or rock. I mean, there's all these different groups where a counselor will work with the child and pull them out to go over the music. So they're actually getting lessons all the time. So you could take individual lessons where they go to the teacher and they sit for a half hour, or they can be in a group. And we try to get the kids into groups, even the beginners, the intermediates. We're always trying to push them to the next level. I get a lot of kids who say it's too hard, and when they say that, I know that's good because they're in the right group. Very few tell me it's too easy. So we do really well with the placements for all the different arts, and also for things like horseback riding and so forth. Yes? Yeah, just send us, that's part of your profile, and there's also a place where you're gonna give us bunk requests. Just let us know that they want to sleep in upper bunks, or we tell the counselors to sleep in the upper bunks so the kids can have the lower bunks, but all the kids want to sleep in the upper bunks. Yeah, we're very happy if the kids want to, because it's easy, because we make the council sleep up there because we want the kids on the bottom. But we have rails on all the bunks, whether it's lower or upper. You have to work hard to fall out of bed. Yes. Well, it's the first day of the session. Our first day, the kids come in, they meet their counselors, they get settled. After dinner, we do an orientation where they meet all the heads of departments, and the heads of departments, like Larry, will do a little trick. The rock and roll will play a little song. So they get to understand what's going on, and they meet all the people in charge, and they talk a little bit about the program. So that's our first night. Then we do a little socializing. We do an ice cream social, and we get them to bed for the next day. The next day is the real first full day of camp, where they do their 6 minor day, which is really a tryout day, where they're going from area to area, trying things, auditioning for shows, circus, being placed in all the different activities. And if they miss something, there's, they're not punished. There's the next day. So we really try to stay on top of it, and we want every kid to get what he wants. One of the things that's very important to tell the kids, and I talk to them the first night, I talk to them about advocating for themselves. Because when you're in a place like this where everything is so individualized and independent, you have to speak up. So you tell your kids, no matter what they want, no matter what it is, they got to come grab one of us and say, Isaac, Ron, Beth, we need this. I haven't gotten this. I want this. I want to take this class. I want to take a lesson, whatever it is. And please feel free to call me about anything. Your head counselors will send you a email with their program very early on, so you'll know what they're taking. You'll have to find out what shows they're in. I will send out, or the office will send out a letter that tells you all the activities for visiting weekend, and they'll tell you what they're going to be in. So, we all work together, and the kids have to know that they got to be part of the process. Yes? During that weekend, everything that is being performed will be performed. So either they'll do it a night or an afternoon, because we do matinees. Sometimes, yeah. What happens is you have some of the shows the kids will see without necessarily their parents being there. But during that weekend, at least one of the shows for your kid will be performed. Some of them will be performed twice. Some of them won't. They'll be performed the night before. Yeah. And you know what? If your child is performing the night before and you can make it, just let us know. We'll make arrangements for you to come have dinner with us and see the show. So if he...
That's why it's going to be really important for you to call the office or get in contact with us. You'll find out what show your child is in, when he's performing.
Well, between your child, the head counselor, and Eric in the office, you'll know what your kid's performing in, and you'll have a schedule of everything that's going on. But there are some shows that will be on each of those 2 days. Yes? All right, stock shows are shows that are for kids. We have 2 types of stocks, one for the middle campers, one for the older kids. The middle campers show is a 2-session show, meets once a day for 5 weeks, and then they perform sometime during the last week of the 6 weeks. The older kids stock show is kind of rehearses for about 8 weeks, 1 hour a day, and it performs around that 8th week. So it's for kids that stay longer, and it's a very specialized for those kids, and they work really hard because a lot of it is on their own because they're only we're trying not to take away that much time from the rest of the program. So, yes. Oh, good question. I didn't speak about that. A bunch of things. Let's start with we have computers that you'll see in the bunks and a lot of the bunks, on the bunks, and they can email you probably the 2nd or 3rd day. As soon as they have their program, we want them to email you, let you know what's going on. We don't open the phones for them to make phone calls until the first week is over. And usually by then, everybody's adjusted. Now, I don't know if you know traditional camp. Traditional camp, there's one-way communication. You could email them, they can't email you. There's one phone call, maybe the summer. I mean, the whole concept of traditional camp is to really let the kids be independent and grow up. It's so early. Not at all. Do we talk a lot here? No.
Always.
All right, thank you. So I've lost my train of thought now. So anyway, email, right. Phone calls are difficult. It's much easier to hear something negative on email than it is phone calls with the kid yelling and screaming. But I didn't get there yet. I'm going to do that right now. The kids will wait because we're scheduled to 2:15 and 2:30, 2 to 3:30. Anyway, getting back to communication. If you need anything, you can just call the head counselor, call me. The kids will be able to email you. They'll be able to call you after the first week. Cell phones, it's a real problem for us now because there was never any service here for cell phones. There's no Wi-Fi for them to get on. If they have to do things for school or anything like that, we have classrooms for that. So right now, we're getting signals from certain carriers, so it's become an issue because in a place like this, the kids need their music. They take notes on their phone. It was never a problem because they couldn't make any phone calls. And we don't want kids walking around with electronic devices because the idea of camp is to socialize, to have friends. You can't have friends if you're doing this, So we're going to allow, and we've never tried this before because we never had a problem before, but we don't want to just cut it off completely. Our goal is to cut it off completely. But we can't because we didn't do it yet, so now we're going to have to. But for this year, the older kids will be allowed to use their phones for music and for certain classes that they need. But if we see them walking around with the phone and using it for social media, using it for making phone calls, we're taking it away. They can use it for their music. They can use it for their notes that certain classes need them to take. But bottom line is that in the next year or two, we will really want to stop the use of cell phones, and we're going to come up with different ways. We have always asked the parents not even to send cell phones, to send MP3 players or iPods so they can do the same thing without having to text or call people. And you never know who they're texting or who they're calling. And we don't want them playing video games when they should be socializing with their friends. We have all sorts of computerized classes, game design, coding. They could learn something, but they don't need to sit there and play games while their friends are around. So that's something, it's a no-no. So the younger kids that are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, they shouldn't have any phones, even 12-year-olds. The older kids, we're not going to be able to take away right away, but we're going to limit their use, and then in the next year or two, we're going to have a no-phone policy. Well, we're going to have, hopefully, as soon as some of these kids graduate who've been using the phones, they couldn't make calls, but they were using it for their music and using it because they download the music they use for their shows, listen to. Some kids need it to go to bed at night, but an MP3 player or an iPod works fine with that. So we don't like the cell phones, we don't like the social media, we don't like the video games. We want them to socialize with one another. There's so much to do here and be busy with. They don't need that. It's a time for a break. Yeah, if you want to take the SIM card out, that could help us. But for the little ones, they really don't need it at all. And you could get in touch with me anytime you want. So, but they'll be able to email you, and if you have a problem, you're not getting emails, call us, and we'll make sure they email you. Well, the schedule is downtime. So when's downtime? It's usually after dinner, before they go to sleep. There's a little bit of time after lunch, maybe a half hour, but it's a difficult time because they want to be with their friends. And sometimes after breakfast, while they're cleaning up, they'll have time. So if you need an email from them, call the head counselor, and they'll sit them down and make sure they email. And then the head counselors, for the younger ones, will make sure they call when the phones open up. Yeah. And if you have a problem, just call us. Yes? Well, the head counselor is going to attempt to call every family and email every family. If they don't call you, they'll email you. But if you need to talk to them, they'll be on the phone with you as soon as you let us know. Yeah, after dinner, we have what's called a rest period where the kids can email and they can take showers, which is nice for them to do. Sometimes they'll take an extra class, they'll practice their instrument, but it's kind of a little bit of downtime. Right after rest period is over at 7:45, we have evening activity, and evening activity varies from fun camp games to exciting shows or concerts. And right after that's over, we go to a place called Canteen, and you'll see that building. It's got a DJ booth, it's got a stand for a live band, and the kids will have a DJ, music, a live band, pizza, ice cream, milkshakes. It's a great time to socialize. The little ones, they'll have a half hour maybe to socialize. The bigger ones will have an hour to socialize. But it's unwind time after all that goes on during the day and before they go to sleep. And it's always great to give the kids a little sugar before they go to sleep. Keeps the counselors on their toes, so it works out real well.
Let me tell them something.
It varies from age to age. The youngest kids' lights are out within a half hour after they get to the bunk. By 11 o'clock, all the lights are out in camp. The oldest kids go in about 10:30. So it varies from age to age. It's 15 minutes, going right up to the oldest kids. So the littlest ones usually go in about 9:15.
Hey, so just a real quick thing for you guys on photos. I know you all want to see pictures of your lovely children while they're here at camp. We have always traditionally just posted photos online, and you've been looking through the 65,000 photos to find your child. So this summer we've teamed up with a new company. They're called Waldo Photos. It is a optional thing. You don't have to do it. It costs you about $20 a 3-week session, but it takes a picture of your kid, you give it a selfie of your kid, it uses facial recognition to find your kid in all the photos that we take, and it pings it right to your cell phone. So we're trying it for the first time. We don't know. We hope it was going to be awesome. It's an option you guys have. It'll be in the newsletter. We'll be doing a selfie stations on pickup. You can sign up after the kid's already here if you want it, and it'll just ping. And it seems like a pretty cool thing, so I wanted you guys to know about that.
Last thing before you go, just want to just speak a little bit about ADD and ADHD because I know that some parents have talked to me about that. This is an incredible place for kids who have ADD and ADHD. First of all, ADD and ADHD kids are smarter, more talented. They can have 5 conversations at once. They have all these stimuli coming in, and I think it's not a bad thing. You know, it's tough when you're sitting in that class that's not so much fun to be in, but when they're doing things they love, they're very, very successful. Here, they're choosing the things that they want to do. They're not doing things they don't like to do. So the ADD becomes more of a focusing thing than a lack of focus. So don't be afraid. If your kid is diagnosed, which is probably 75% of the population. Back when I was a kid, it was a hyperactive kid. You'll grow out of it. Now it's become more of an issue. But those kids are very talented, very bright. It comes with the territory. So we'll take care of them. You don't have to worry. And for some of them, if they're not taking their meds, they'll do fine. You know your own kid. If they have to, we'll make sure they do. But they'll do fine here. It's not like an affliction. It's kind of, we understand that those kids are incredible, and we're happy to have them because they're going to be smarter, talented, and, do really, really well in this environment. So I know a lot of parents worry about that. So that'll be your choice whether you want to put them on a vacation or not, but we're with you with whatever works for you. Anything else? We'll be around after the tour, and I'll wait. If you have any questions, we'll all be here waiting for you.